Friends, you have two choices right now. The first choice is to stay buried in debt, not study, keep working like a servant all your life, waste time on social media until 3 a.m., and then feel low on energy the next day. Eat unhealthy food, avoid exercise, watch yourself get fat and unhealthy in the mirror, and ruin your life. Or, the second choice is to watch this video until the end and follow these 10 simple habits for 21 days to completely change your future life. I know this might sound dramatic, but trust me, it works. I remember a friend of mine, let's call him David, who was once stuck in this exact situation. He was deep in debt, struggling to stay afloat with no clear path forward. He would stay up late every night, scrolling through social media, feeling worse about himself the next day. His health was deteriorating, and he felt trapped. One day, he decided to make a change and committed to following these habits. Within just a few months, his entire life turned around. He was able to pay off his debts, got a new job, and even started his own business. These habits were his stepping stone to success, and they can be yours too. If you do this, you will not only amaze the world, but you'll also surprise yourself. If you can follow these habits for 60 days, they will become part of your life. You won't even need to make an effort to practice them. If you're lazy, a coward, or a loser, you can skip or stop this video right now. But if you really want to change your life and have courage within you, then go to a quiet corner. Give your full attention to this video because your life is about to change, my friends. Habit number 1. Waking up early. The first habit you need to adopt is waking up early. If there's one habit every successful person follows, it's waking up before 5 a.m. Getting out of bed by 5 a.m. is like starting your day with a victory. There's something about the early morning quiet that makes you feel empowered and productive. I used to struggle with waking up early myself. I would hit the snooze button repeatedly and end up rushing through the day, constantly feeling behind. Then, I read about how top CEOs and entrepreneurs make waking up early a priority. They use those quiet morning hours to plan, exercise, and get ahead while everyone else is still asleep. A good friend of mine, Sarah, was always a night owl. She used to stay up late watching movies or endlessly scrolling through her phone, and waking up early felt like torture. But when she started her own business, she realized she needed to make a change. She began waking up at 5 a.m. every day. The transformation in her productivity was astounding. She found that those extra early hours gave her the time she needed to plan her day, set clear goals, and focus on her most important tasks before distractions kicked in. Sarah now swears by this habit, and she says it's one of the key reasons her business took off. Waking up early means extra time, extra energy, extra effort, and this extra will bring something extra into your life. But remember, waking up early doesn't mean less sleep. It means going to bed early and waking up early. To wake up by 5 a.m., you need to be in bed before 11 p.m. This is where a good nighttime routine comes in handy. Turn off screens at least an hour before bed, and create a peaceful environment that helps you wind down. Habit number 2, exercise. The second habit is to exercise. If you wake up early, the first thing you should do is sweat. Get moving. Exercise doesn't just change your body, it transforms your mind. I remember when I first started my morning workout routine. I wasn't in the best shape, and getting up to exercise felt like a chore. But after a few weeks, I noticed a shift. My energy levels were higher, I felt more focused throughout the day, and my mood improved. A close friend, James, used to avoid exercise altogether. He was always exhausted, stressed out from work, and felt like he didn't have the time or energy to work out. One day, he decided to start small, just a 10-minute walk each morning. Gradually, those 10 minutes turned into 30 minutes, and then into a full workout routine. The difference in his life was undeniable. He lost weight, became more confident, and his stress levels plummeted. Morning exercise is a game changer, and James is living proof of that. Morning exercise has countless benefits. It reduces stress, increases focus, builds discipline, and gives you a sense of accomplishment. So, make it a part of your daily routine. You don't have to hit the gym for an hour. Start small, with a short workout or a brisk walk, and watch how your life changes. Habit number 3. Always keep learning. The third habit is to always keep learning and improving yourself. Life is all about growth. Every day offers an opportunity to become a better version of yourself. I remember when I decided to start learning new skills a few years ago. At the time, I felt stuck in my job and wasn't sure how to move forward. But instead of waiting for something to change, I took matters into my own hands. I signed up for online courses, started reading more books, and invested in my personal development. One of my colleagues, Lisa, had a similar experience. She was stuck in a job she hated, feeling like she wasn't living up to her potential. But instead of complaining, she started learning. She took evening classes, learned new software skills, and eventually landed her dream job. Lisa's success was a direct result of her commitment to lifelong learning. Wishing for a better life without improving yourself is like planting no seeds and expecting a tree to grow. So, commit to constant learning, whether it's through books, courses, or new experiences. Everything you learn will benefit you someday, just like it did for Lisa and me. Habit number 4. Writing down goals and ideas. The next habit is to develop the habit of writing. I used to keep all my goals and ideas in my head, but I found that I would forget them or lose focus. When I started writing things down, everything changed. Writing your goals not only helps you stay focused, but also holds you accountable. I have a journal where I write down my daily goals, and it has been one of the most powerful tools for my personal growth. A friend of mine, Kevin, always had great ideas, but he never wrote them down. One day, he started keeping a journal, and it was like a floodgate opened. Writing down his thoughts helped him clarify his goals, stay organized, and execute his ideas more effectively. Now, he swears by this habit. So, grab a notebook, start journaling, and write down your goals. You'll be surprised how much more focused and productive you become. Habit number 5. Speak less, listen more. The fifth habit is to speak less and listen more. I've learned this the hard way. In my younger years, I was always quick to talk, eager to share my opinions, and always wanted to be heard. But as I grew older, I realized the power of listening. When you listen, you learn. And when you speak less, your words carry more weight. A mentor once told me, "You have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Listen twice as much as you speak." I took this advice to heart, and it has changed the way I interact with people. I've learned that listening opens doors, builds stronger relationships, and gives you a deeper understanding of the world around you. Habit number 6. Learn to say no. The 6th habit is learning to say no. This is something many of us struggle with, myself included. I used to say yes to everything. Every request, every invitation, every favor, even when it didn't align with my goals or values. It made me feel overwhelmed, drained, and often took me away from what I truly wanted to achieve. Saying no felt rude or selfish, but over time, I realized that it's actually a form of self-care. I'll never forget a time when I was working on a big project for my business. A friend invited me to a party, and even though I had a ton of work to do, I felt bad saying no, so I went. The whole night I was stressed, thinking about the project, and the next day, I regretted losing that time. From that moment on, I promised myself I would only say yes to things that aligned with my goals or brought me joy. A great example of this comes from my cousin, Emily. She was the type of person who would always say yes, even when she didn't want to. Whether it was extra work assignments, social events, or helping people with things that took up her free time, she struggled with boundaries. Emily soon realized that by trying to please everyone, she was losing track of her own dreams. She started practicing the art of saying no, and it was a game changer. Her stress levels went down, and she found more time to focus on the things that truly mattered to her, like pursuing her passion for photography. Emily learned that saying no isn't about being selfish. It's about protecting your time and energy for what's important. So, remember, you're not a puppet to say yes to everything. You have your own dreams, goals, and priorities. If something doesn't serve you, it's okay to say no. In fact, it's essential. Habit number 7. Surround yourself with good people. The 7th habit is one that is often overlooked but has a huge impact on your life. Surrounding yourself with the right people. Your company matters more than you think. Have you ever noticed how your mood and behavior can change depending on the people you're around? I've experienced this firsthand. I used to hang out with a group of people who were always negative, complaining about everything, and never taking action to improve their lives. Over time, I noticed that I started adopting their negative mindset, and it was holding me back. When I decided to distance myself from that group and surround myself with positive, driven people, everything changed. I started feeling more motivated, more energized, and I made progress toward my goals much faster. One of my best friends, Alex, was in a similar situation. He had a circle of friends who were constantly partying, wasting money, and never thinking about the future. Alex realized that if he kept spending time with them, he would never achieve the success he wanted in life. So, he made the tough decision to cut ties with those friends and started connecting with people who inspired him. He began attending networking events, joining business groups, and meeting people who were on the same path of growth and self-improvement. Today, Alex is thriving in his career, and he credits a lot of his success to the people he chose to surround himself with. As the saying goes, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So, choose wisely. If you want to elevate your life, you need to surround yourself with people who lift you up, not drag you down. Habit number 8. Learn to make decisions. The 8th habit is learning to make decisions. Decision-making is a skill that many people avoid because they fear making the wrong choice. But not making a decision is often worse than making the wrong one. I've been guilty of this too, overthinking, hesitating, and waiting for the perfect moment to make a decision. But I learned that perfection doesn't exist, and action is what drives progress. A few years ago, I was faced with a big career decision. I had 2 job offers, one from a stable company with a good salary and another from a startup that was risky but had the potential for growth. I agonized over the decision for weeks, paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong choice. Finally, I realized that I was wasting time by not deciding, so I went with my gut and chose the startup. It wasn't an easy path, but it turned out to be one of the best decisions of my life. The experience I gained from that job opened doors for me that I never could have imagined. My friend Jenna had a similar experience when deciding whether to move to a new city for a job opportunity. She was comfortable in her current life but felt stagnant in her career. She spent months going back and forth, unsure of what to do. Finally, she took the plunge and made the move. It wasn't easy at first, but that decision led to her landing her dream job and meeting some of the most important people in her life. So, don't get stuck in indecision. Even if the choice feels daunting, make it and move forward. Life is about taking risks and learning from the outcomes, whether they're good or bad. Habit number 9. Avoid unnecessary spending. The 9th habit is to avoid unnecessary spending. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in the cycle of consumerism. We're constantly bombarded with ads, sales, and social media influencers showing off the latest trends. I used to be guilty of this myself, buying things on impulse, thinking they would make me happier. But over time, I realized that material things don't bring lasting fulfillment. I'll never forget the time I splurged on an expensive gadget that I barely used. It seemed like a cool purchase at the time, but within a few weeks, it was collecting dust on a shelf. That was a wake-up call for me. I started paying more attention to my spending habits and focused on saving and investing my money instead of buying things I didn't need. One of my mentors, Mark, once told me that the key to financial success is simple: spend less than you earn and invest the difference. Mark had been a big spender in his younger years, always buying the latest gadgets and designer clothes. But when he realized he wasn't getting any closer to his financial goals, he decided to make a change. He cut back on unnecessary expenses, started saving more, and invested wisely. Today, Mark is financially independent, and he attributes much of his success to learning how to manage his money effectively. So, take a look around your home. How many things do you have that you impulsively bought but rarely use? Control your spending, save for the future, and invest in experiences and things that truly matter. Habit number 10. Limit notifications and distractions. Finally, let's talk about notifications. How many notifications have you received on your phone since this morning? If they're not important, block them or remove those apps. Notifications are one of the biggest distractions in today's world. I used to have dozens of apps sending me notifications throughout the day: social media, news updates, emails, you name it. It was impossible to stay focused because my phone was constantly buzzing. One day, I decided to turn off all non-essential notifications. I only kept the ones that were truly important, like messages from family or work-related emails. The difference was amazing. I was able to focus on my work without constant interruptions, and my productivity skyrocketed. My friend Rachel used to struggle with this too. She would check her phone every few minutes, responding to notifications and getting distracted from her work. She felt like she was constantly busy but never really getting anything done. Once she started limiting her notifications and setting specific times to check her phone, her focus improved, and she was able to accomplish much more in her day. So, take control of your phone, limit the distractions, and focus on what really matters. Notifications can wait. Your goals and dreams can't. In conclusion, these 10 habits have the power to transform your life. They may seem simple, but when practiced consistently, they can lead to extraordinary results. Whether it's waking up early, exercising, learning new skills, or controlling your spending, each habit brings you one step closer to the life you want. Remember, the journey to success isn't always easy, but it's worth it. Start small, be consistent, and before you know it, these habits will become second nature. So, which choice will you make today? Stay stuck where you are, or start building the life you've always dreamed of? The choice is yours. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notifications of our new videos. Also, comment for more videos like this, and check out the playlist on the end screen for more interesting stories. Thanks for watching.